This is a lyric in Desert Eagle. Cash out on a video. Make 'em cash out to see the rodeo. Put on a show and make it nasty. Desert Eagle in the backseat. This is a lyric from Yaya. We want to welcome you to the Beyonce Cowboy Carter Act 2 and the Rodeo Chitlin Circuit. Beyonce holds 5 trademarks on variations of the title Rodeo Chitlin Circuit under Class 041, entertainment services in the nature of live performances by a female entertainer. The trademarks are as follows: Rodeo Chitlin Circuit, Beyonce and the Rodeo Chitlin Circuit, Beyonce and the Rodeo Chitlin Circuit, Cowboy Carter and the Rodeo Chitlin Circuit, and most curiously, the Rodeo Circus, which I'll dive into my next video because that threw me on a whole other deep dive that I can't get into right now. Back to what we're talking about. This is a lyric from Reincarnated by Kendrick Lamar on GNX. Another life had me placed as a black woman in a Chitlin circuit. Seductive vocalist as a promoter hit the curtains. My voice was angelic, straight from heaven. The crowd sobbed. A musical genius, what the articles emphasized. This is Kendrick Lamar's previous and upcoming tour, the Big Steppers Tour from 2022 and the Grand National Tour in 2025. They were both sponsored by and pre-sale hosted by Cash App. So, let me make it clear for you. Beyonce has multiple trademarks on variations of a Rodeo Chitlin circuit classified under live performances by a female entertainer. She sings Welcome to a Rodeo Chitlin Circuit on Yaya, and she says we'll have to Cash App to see this rodeo in Desert Eagle. On Kendrick Lamar's last 2 tours, they were sponsored by Cash App, and he references that he would be reincarnated as a black woman in a Chitlin circuit, and Beyonce is saying that she is a black woman in a Chitlin circuit. Do you see there's a lot of overlaps here, and it is not by coincidence. Why is all this significant? It points to what I believe is either going to be a residency or a festival or potentially a tour that is going to include other artists in some kind of way. I know many of us know about Chitlin circuits, but if you don't, it refers to a network of performance venues in the South during the Jim Crow era where black artists could perform safely as segregation excluded them from white-owned spaces and venues. These Chitlin circuits included a variety of acts, from jazz bands to gospel choirs, stand-up comics to soul singers. The shows often ran back-to-back with multiple performers taking the stage at different points throughout the evening. Now, a rodeo is a competitive event where cowboys and cowgirls showcase their bull riding and bronco busting skills, roping skills, and it's rooted in cattle ranching traditions, which we know that black cowboys made up 1 in 4 cowboys in the American West. They were largely erased, though, from the mainstream rodeo culture and depictions in Hollywood Western films, despite their deep influence. So, Beyonce here is blending 2 black Southern traditions, the rodeo and the Chitlin Circuit, saying welcome to the Beyonce Cowboy Carter Act 2 Rodeo Chitlin Circuit. What she is potentially inventing in this name, or insinuating, is a celebrating of a legacy of black cowboys and Southern rodeo culture with black music history in the South. She's blending the 2. Now, what about Cash App? And why is it significant? Well, you'll have to Cash App to see the rodeo in Desert Eagle, and Kendrick's tour is being sponsored by Cash App, which I have to add that he did this commercial with Cash App about trying to teach people from his community about investing in the importance of financial literacy. In this commercial, he's basically a mediator between somebody maybe from Compton and then a white kind of finance guy. So the guy in Compton says stuff about making money. Kendrick then translates it to the white finance guy, gives the guy maybe from Compton advice, and then Kendrick translates that in a language for the guy from Compton. So Kendrick is not only teaming up with them because it's a good collaboration, but he's really trying to have a bigger message on helping teach financial literacy to people from his community, which are often underserved in this. They are not taught this. Surely knows people aren't taught this in school. So if you're not getting the education about financial literacy from your parents, then where are you going to get it from? And people from his community are most likely not going to be getting that kind of information where white upper middle class people are getting from their parents who understand stocks and investing in compound interest, etc. Cash App is an American mobile payment service that allows users to send, receive, and invest money easily through their app. But what is significant is that it has an over 59% African American customer base compared to only 17% 40% of white Americans, making Kendrick's partnership with them a strategic and culturally significant move to align with his audience. By offering exclusive pre-sale access to its users, Cash App and Kendrick Lamar are prioritizing accessibility for the black community that is often overlooked in spaces where exclusivity is tied to premium cards like American Express, and it highlights the significance of African American spending power and that big tech needs to pay attention to this, while also setting a precedent for how technology can be better served to underrepresented communities. We all saw those memes making fun of the fact that if Beyonce is going to go on a Cowboy Carter tour, we're going to have to be fighting against other country music fans who are mostly white for tickets. So if she were to sponsor with Cash App for a pre-sale, given that it has a large black user base, she would be prioritizing her black fans, not these country fans, for early access to tickets, giving them an advantage in securing seats for her show. Now, Beyonce also holds the following trademark names: Smoke Hour, Sweet Honey Buckin', The Smoke Hour, Buckin' with the exclamation point, Buckin', KNTRY Radio, so country radio, Country Radio Texas, Country Radio 1, Country, Backseat Babies, Beyonce with 2 I's, Act 2 Beyonce, Cowboy Carter Act 2, Act 2 Beyonce, and Look at That Horse. All of these were filed in and around April 23, 2024, but were extended on January 14, 2025, with the exception of Look at That Horse, which is extended on January 27, 2025. So January 14th is obviously significant. It's the date we were supposed to be getting an announcement, but it was postponed due to the tragedy of the LA fires. I don't know about you, but I've been looking at that damn horse for a long time, and it started to look a lot like this. Now, all of the trademarks I mentioned, as well as the Rodeo Chitlin Circuit ones, are classed under 041, as I mentioned, entertainment services in the nature of live performances by a female entertainer. However, they are also classed under the following classes. Class 021, houseware and glass products, i.e. mugs, water bottles, wash bags, etc. Class 018, leather products not including clothing, so bags, tote bags, beach bags, small leather goods, etc. Class 016, paper goods and printed material, so printed books in the field of music, hello her art book. Class 041, jewelry products, so keychains, earrings, stuff like that. Class 009, computer software products and electrical and scientific products. Now y'all know I have a theory about Beyonce doing a video game. You can watch that full theory in this video here, but I think that's interesting. Class 025, clothing products, i.e. shirts, pants, jackets, sweatshirts, etc. And Class 024, fabrics, so banners of cloth, namely flags, towels, maybe the Cowboy Carter banner she wears across her chest. So I'd say all of these sound like they would be things on merchandise for a show. For example, tote bags that say Sweet Honey Bucket, or maybe best friend bracelets that say Backseat Babies, as it's referenced in Two Most Wanted, her song with Miley Cyrus about being, two women on the run. Maybe this is Telephone Part Tour. I don't know. But obviously there would be hoodies that say Beyonce and the Rodeo Chitlin Circuit. Like I said, all of her Chitlin Circuit trademarks are also classed under these other classes that I just listed. Now, what's even more interesting to me is, like I said, these were extended on January 14, 2025, the day we were supposed to get the announcement. Now, I'm going to get in the weeds a little bit so we can better understand trademarks and copyright law and why this is significant. Don't worry, I'm going to break it down really simply. If you look at the dates of the trademark approval process to any of these trademarks, there are dates attached that show a timeline of the process of registering the trademarks. I'm going to use KNTRY Radio 1 for example. So if you go to the website, you'll see this. And I'm going to be reading them backwards in time of the first filing up until January 14, 2025. So April 23, 2024, we see new application entered for Country Radio 1. This marks the initial entry of a new trademark application into the system, starting the process. October 11, 2024, a new application office supplied data entered. This means the office has entered the data for the trademark application into the system, officially processing it. So quite a bit of time in between when the application is entered to it being officially put into the system. October 16th, 2024. It's assigned to an examiner. The trademark application has been officially assigned to an examiner who will review and make decisions about the application. On October 17, 2024, something really significant happens. Now, all of these take place on October 17th. So a non-final action is written. The trademark examiner has issued a non-final action, meaning there are objections or issues with the application that need to be resolved, but it is not a final decision yet. The non-final action is emailed. the applicant, Beyonce, has been notified by email of the examiner's non-final action given, giving them a chance to resolve the objections of the trademarks examiner. And then a notification of a non-final action email. This is just the official notification that the non-final action has been issued, reiterating the earlier email. So what is a non-final action? It means that a trademark examiner has flagged some issues or has questions that need to be addressed before the final approval. It's not an outright rejection, but it indicates that the trademark is close to approval but still requires some work. This often happens when a trademark is filed under the intent to use or ITU basis. It means the applicant, Beyonce in this instance, hasn't started using the trademark yet but intends to use it in the future, which would make sense because no tour or whatever is coming has been announced yet. The only things tied to these titles that she is trying to trademark, say that 10 times fast, are lyrics on Cowboy Carter. There's nothing else. Like, she's had some merch on her website, but she doesn't have anything else proof that she is using these currently. This is filing under an intent to use. Before the trademark can be fully approved, the applicant needs to prove that they're actually using it in commerce. This is done by filing a statement of use, or SOU. If the applicant isn't ready to start using the trademark yet, which she wouldn't be because she hasn't made the announcement yet, they can request a 6-month extension to delay submitting the SOU. They can keep asking for extensions, but they're only allowed to do it up to 5 times. And this is exactly what Beyonce and her team do on January 14, 2025. The day that we were supposed to get the announcement, she says, hey, we're going to delay the announcement because of the tragic LA wildfires. This is how you can help. And her website is directed to begood.com when you go to her website or Instagram. So what happens on the 14th of January in terms of the trademarks is the application extension to respond period is received. This means that Beyonce submitted her request for an extension to respond to an action, meaning they've asked for more time to address issues or respond to any feedback. Then the application extension is granted and a receipt provided. The trademark application has been given an extension of time to complete any required actions, and the applicant has received confirmation of this. So to explain it in kind of simpler terms, the application extension granted, receipt provided means that the applicant, Beyonce, has requested and received an extension of time to complete a required step in the trademark registration process. This is usually a 6-month extension, which leads us to July 2025 that she has to get this approved fully, and she can request 4 more extensions, as I said before. So she's been granted extra time to provide proof of use of the trademark. This makes sense because whatever the announcement was supposed to be on 1/14/25 would have been a solid statement of use to get the final approvals for all of the trademarks. However, because the announcement was delayed, they do not have the appropriate proof of use, so they needed to file this extension so that when she does announce something, the trademarks will have a solid statement of use case and be approved. I predict that when the announcement comes, we will be seeing trademark filings update on her trademark filing timeline, and it'll be approved shortly after she makes the announcement. These trademarks speak to the intention to create a performance experience, whether a festival, residency, or possible tour that celebrates the untold history of Black cowboys and intimate spaces where Black artists could perform and thrive. Beyonce's not simply pulling from history, she's reimagining it, blending these elements with her personal vision for the future. Furthermore, a potential relationship with Cash App, highlighted in the lyrics and sponsorship in Kendrick Lamar's tours, which she knows how much she loves and collaborates with Kendrick Lamar, sets a powerful precedent for prioritizing the Black community, giving them early access to cultural moments through technology. With Cash App's significant African-American user base, Beyonce and the potential collaboration would aim to make live experiences more accessible to the historically marginalized communities, just like the Chitlin circuit brought entertainment to Black folks during the Jim Crow era and prioritized them getting entertainment. If she does this Cash App collaboration, she would be prioritizing the Black people would be getting tickets to the entertainment. This leverages their purchasing power and amplifies their voices. I personally think it's either going to be a festival where a bunch of different Black talent comes to do some kind of show, whether it's comedians, DJs, singers, rodeo, bucking, rodeo riders, the people who were from the Compton Cowboys and the Beyonce Bowl. I think she's going to bring a lot of people together to make some kind of maybe residency or a short tour that includes all of them. As we know, the Chitlin circuit did not have a lot of venues, so I think it's going to be something really small, really exclusive, or maybe a one-off thing. I don't feel as much as it's going to be a world tour. However, if it is a world tour, that would be amazing, and I would love that. One last thing I just want to notice, if it is a residency, it's interesting how she says this lyric singing to Las Vegas in 2 hands to heaven. The 2 hands to heaven also reminds me of the Renaissance World Tour pose with hands up in the sky. And residencies are known to be done in Las Vegas, obviously. However, maybe she's going to be making some kind of residency or a show or festival, whatever. Maybe she's going to make some kind of Beyonce festival in Houston. Like she's saying, I'm coming home in Sweet Honey Buckin'. Maybe she's bringing it to Houston. Also, we know that she was on top of this steer in the Verizon ad. However, from what I've read, she was in talks with the Sphere to be doing some kind of residency or shows there, but it didn't work out because she needed to close it down for 2 weeks for rehearsals, and the owner of the Sphere said no. I don't know how true that is. That's just what I've read. So maybe it is in Las Vegas, or maybe because she couldn't do it at the Sphere, maybe she's going to be doing it in Houston and bringing it there. I can't help but think about Astroworld and how Travis Scott did Astroworld in Houston, and who knows, maybe she's doing something like that. Anyways, what do you guys think? Get your Cash App ready. If you don't have Cash App, get it together because this announcement, I believe, is coming very soon. Anyways, I would like to take this moment to ask you to subscribe to this channel. It's my personal mission to help people understand Beyonce's deeper symbolism because she is an artist who needs to be studied. So thank you for liking, comment, subscribing. It really is a free thing to do and really helps me and supports me do this work. If you stay till the end of the video, comment a cowboy hat emoji and a bumblebee. And watch out for my next video, which I'm going to be deep diving why one of those trademark names was Rodeo Circus. Thanks for watching. Until next time, love, Lord Breakers.